Luke Bryan has an emotional surprise for his son, and warning, it's a little bit of a tearjerker. Plus, Blake Shelton is holding nothing back on his Twitter today, and Miranda Lambert is sick and tired of the quarantine. Stick with us. Hello and welcome to CountryCast. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new here, please consider subscribing with notifications on so you don't miss updates about your favorite artists. Most people who watch the show every day are not subscribed, and if you want to help out, all you got to do is hit that button with notifications on. All right, folks, Miranda Lambert is opening up about the quarantine and missing shows and things like that, and basically, she is over it, and she said as much in a new interview with CMT. Here's what she had to say. All right, so here's what she said in an interview with 94.5 Country Rather. She says that I'm most looking forward to being able to kind of go out and sit on the deck with my friends and have a beer. And I guess the biggest part of going back to normal is the road, you know? I enjoyed the break. I've been doing this for a long time, but I also miss the fans, band, and crew. I miss the feeling of sharing the music with all these people that I'm not able to see. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
I'm most looking forward to being able to just kind of go out and sit on a deck with my friends and have a beer. And I guess the biggest part of going back to normal is the road. You know, I enjoyed the break. I've been doing this for a long time, but I also miss, the fans. I miss the band and crew. I miss the feeling of sharing in the music with all these people that now I'm not able to see. So definitely I'm looking forward to that.
Next up, we've got the Country Music Hall of Fame class of 2020 just announced a few moments ago, and the leader of the pack is none other than Hank Williams Jr. Congratulations. He is going to be entering that Hall of Fame class, and it says Bocephus has been eyeing this one for a while. It's a bright spot during a difficult year. I've been making top 10 records for 56 years. I fell off a mountain and tried to reinvent myself as a truly individual artist and one who stepped out of the shadows of a very famous man, one of the greatest. I've got to thank a lot of those rowdy friends who year after year still show up for me. It's an honor to carry on this family tradition. It's much appreciated. And you've also got additional members joining the Hall of Fame, which will include Marty Stewart and Dean Dillon. The Country Music Association confirmed in a press release today. And all right, folks, we got to talk about Blake Shelton here. Blake is responding to sort of a controversy involving his ticket sales, and he's clarifying that he has canceled the show. He's not being paid for the shows, and there seems to be some sort of a mix-up among fans who are trying to get refunds for some of the shows that he had booked. One fan wrote to Blake, they said, "Hey Blake, the likelihood of concerts with 10,000 people attending is zero. We are all hoping you will be kind enough to cancel or postpone our All-State Arena Chicago so we can get our money back. It's the right thing to do when so many of us are now unemployed due to COVID." He says, "We have addressed this before, but you must have missed it. The show, along with all the rest of the Friends and Heroes tour, have been canceled. Not sure who bought your ticket, but that must be the issue." And someone else added, "It has been postponed." So they're saying that there's going to be a later date and they're not giving people their money back. He says, "Man, this is bad. I agree. We in no way want to mislead or delay people getting their refunds. We absolutely canceled the tour. No ticket money is going to be held up on our end. The issue is on that end. This is awful." He adds, "Unscrupulous ticket sellers to keep everyone's cash is despicable. Can't y'all have a word?" He says, "I understand what you're saying. The problem is that something has been sold to people that doesn't exist. Trust me when I say everyone involved knows that tour is canceled and won't happen again. The money has to be refunded." Someone else wrote, "It's not Ticketmaster, it's third parties. All of us who purchased through Ticketmaster have already received a refund. If you look at her email, it says something called Mega Seats, which is a third-party vendor and apparently not refunding people's money." He says, "That's where these things get confusing and tricky and out of our hands. But what is right is what is right, and the money belongs back in the buyer's hand, especially during these times. The tour is canceled." He added, "That's a fair point, but it was only our first statement while we were scrambling to the rest of the world. Look at the above, IG tour canceled." He says, "Bottom line is the tour is and has been canceled since March. Get your money back, people. Let me know on here how it goes over the next few days. This is terrible, and it is just shameful if people are holding up the money of others for a canceled show and refusing to give it back. It doesn't get more awful than that, especially during these times, during the pandemic. And I've talked over at Rockfeed about how it's a real issue with, when somebody goes out and buys a ticket, that it's not going to be refunded for one reason or another, or they play games or they make it difficult to get your money back. It's just very, very frustrating, and it's unacceptable. And it's good to see Blake speaking out about this. All right, so we got to move on, and let's talk about Luke Bryan. He posted this video, which is definitely a tearjerker, in which his son is having his 10th birthday. And they organized a big surprise for him. And we talked previously about how his cousin Till recently went off to college. And if you don't know, basically after a tragedy in their family and his mother passed away, Luke Bryan took in Till and they raised him for much of his life. And so, when he went off to college, that was something that was very difficult for them. And so they organized a surprise of him visiting from college. And this was his reaction. And Luke said he was crying, and it is just a very, very sweet.
There is one little surprise for your birthday.
Oh, buddy! Happy birthday! I love you. Big 10. Tot tot. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, we didn't tell him. Are you happy?
I'm literally crying.
Hey.
How's your birthday
Is that your
been?
favorite birthday present?
Been good? Oh, he ain't letting go yet. Oh, buddy. You miss me? Just a little bit.
That's just so heartening to see. It's obvious that the Bryan family is just a wonderful family, and family's really everything. And so you got to stick together, especially during these really, really incredibly difficult times. So hats off to them. It's just great to see. Obviously he cares a lot about his cousin, and that's evidenced by his reaction there. Folks, we're going to leave it at that today, and I want to thank you all for tuning in each and every day. Thanks so much for joining us as always, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.